Have you ever wondered how close the Toronto Maple Leafs are to making a game-changing move? With the recent flurry of trades shaking up the league, there's a buzz in the air that could lead to some serious roster upgrades for our beloved team. Brad Treliving is on the hunt for the perfect fit, and the possibilities are endless. What if the Leafs could snag a top-tier center, or bolster their defense just in time for a playoff push? Stay tuned, because this could be the turning point we've all been waiting for. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to keep up with the latest and greatest Maple Leafs news. Recent trades involving 3 teams have sparked a glimmer of hope for Brad Treliving and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Amid all the buzz surrounding the Hurricanes and the Avalanche, the role of the third team in that blockbuster deal gives Toronto some intriguing possibilities as they look to cement their roster. This past Friday, we witnessed a whirlwind of activity when Mikko Rantanen was first traded to the Chicago Blackhawks and then sent off to Carolina in a complex deal filled with assets, draft picks, and salary retention. What stands out in this scenario is the salary retention aspect, which provides a beacon of optimism for the Maple Leafs. Chicago, in this deal, ended up with minimal assets, snagging just a third-round pick while also agreeing to retain 50% of Rantanen's salary. This raises questions about what Treliving can achieve moving forward. The fact that Chicago managed to shed some salary while making a minimal return suggests that there might be pathways for Toronto to explore similar deals without breaking the bank. If Treliving can orchestrate a trade with a third team that offers salary cap flexibility, it could allow the Leafs to acquire a player like Yanni Gourde, Brock Nelson, or Chris Kreider, players who could significantly bolster their lineup as they head into the playoffs. There are several teams out there with excess cap space that could become potential trading partners for Toronto, such as Columbus, Calgary, Anaheim, the New York Rangers, San Jose, and even Utah. Out of these options, only New York and Calgary are in the thick of the playoff race, suggesting that there's a competitive urgency in play. The potential for finding a suitable replacement is certainly there. And let's not forget that Montreal has a retention spot available too. Although it's tough to imagine fierce rivals like Toronto and Montreal collaborating on a deal, it's still a possibility that Treliving might entertain. The idea that Toronto could work with a team willing to acquire a player and then flip him while retaining salary is a significant advantage in Treliving's pursuit of the right pieces for the Maple Leafs. What's exciting for fans like me is that if Treliving can successfully land that coveted second or third center, and perhaps even shore up the defense, it could pay off immensely when the playoffs roll around. The stakes have never been higher, and every decision from here on out will carry weight not just for this season, but for the future of the franchise. But here's where I'm torn. While I see the potential in these moves, I also recognize the risks involved. Do you think this is the right path? Honestly, I'm wrestling with that question myself. On one hand, the possibility of landing a high-impact player is tantalizing, but there's always the fear of giving up too much, especially in a league where the margin for error is razor-thin. The Toronto Maple Leafs are on the brink of a significant boost with the anticipated return of Anthony Stolarz, their key goaltender. After being sidelined for over a month due to a lower body injury, there's finally some encouraging news coming out of the Leafs camp. Stolarz has been progressing well in his recovery, and his recent participation in team practices is a promising sign for fans who have been eagerly waiting for his return. Just recently, he took a critical step by joining his teammates on the ice during practice after undergoing a series of individual skating sessions. This is not just a small detail, it's a testament to the hard work he's put in to get back into game shape. As reported by David Alter, a trusted voice within the organization, Stolarz was not only practicing but also traveled with the team to Ottawa. Seeing him back on the ice with the squad is a heartwarming sight for die-hard Leafs fans who remember how instrumental he was before his injury. Let's take a moment to reflect on Stolarz's performance before he went down. He played his last game on December 12th against the Anaheim Ducks, where he only managed a single period before suffering a knee injury. Up until that point, he had been a solid anchor for the Leafs, boasting a record of 9-5-2 in his first 17 games and a commendable goals against average of .215. These numbers are not just statistics, they represent the hope and stability he brought to the crease. Without him, the team has had to lean heavily on Joseph Woll, who has stepped up admirably, starting 24 games with a record of 17-8-0. But let's be real, having Stolarz back in the lineup changes the dynamic entirely. Head coach Craig Berube has been cautiously optimistic about Stolarz's recovery. He emphasized the need for patience as they work him back into the full swing of things. And honestly, I get it. The last thing we want is for him to rush back and risk re-injury. Berub's comments about Stolarz possibly being ahead of schedule are encouraging, but they also come with a sense of responsibility to manage his workload carefully. So, where does this leave us as fans? We're faced with a pivotal moment. As much as we want to see Stolarz back between the pipes, we also understand that the team's long-term success hinges on making the right choices now. Will they ease him back into the lineup? Do they trust Wohl in the interim? Honestly, I'm torn. I want Stolarz to return and help steer the team towards the playoffs, but I also don't want to see him push too hard, too fast. The return of both goaltenders could be a game-changer as the Leafs gear up for a crucial stretch. With the playoffs on the horizon, having a solid tandem in net could significantly enhance our chances. It's a delicate balancing act, but if executed well, it could set the team up for success when it matters most. And you? What do you think? Do you believe this is the right path for the Leafs as they prepare for the postseason? I want to hear your opinions down below. Should they take the cautious route with Stolarz or prioritize getting him back in action quickly? Your insights are valuable, and this is a conversation worth having as we head towards what we all hope will be a deep playoff run. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Toronto Maple Leafs. And make sure to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. As we continue to navigate this exciting season, your support means everything to keep the conversation going. Let's rally together as one passionate community of Leafs fans and let our voices be heard.